Alright, got everything all cleaned up here. So these are the cylinders here, they're for the shovel. Stock pistons, basically, 8.5 to 1. Boat anchors. No compression to them though, very low dome. They suck. These are the springs here that came out with this one. This is a brand new crane spring. I don't have any good springs to choose from. This S&S is, they're nothing to write home about. There's some titanium upper collar with low lift. I got high lift. And this should be the same spring basically as this, but obviously they're a different color. This one here looks more like this one here. Who knows? And these are thermocool, which means they're coated for longevity. Yeah, we gotta go see what kind of spring tension we got. As much as I can get. Let's go see what we can come up with over here. Oh, I need a tripod too. Yep, I got it. Got a hand for everything. Thought I had some triple valve springs floating around, but nope. Must have sold them to somebody. Or got them buried at home and all my racing crap. Who knows? They're not here. Alright. I don't really care what the installed height tension is, I just care about what coil bind is. That's the only one that matters to me, because I'm going to run it at coil bind. Installed height to be what it'll be. I can't see the numbers I need to look at. Alright, so that puts out a little over 400 open. About 410, 420. That's a coil bind. Actually, that's the only thing I'm caring about at this point. Okay, that was the brand new spring. See what the experienced spring has. In the past, crane had the most tension. If that holds true. Not the same. This might have been 5 pounds more. Alright, so the springs I got are good. As good as I get, which ain't much. I'd like to see a lot more than 400 open. Oh well. Got what you got, right? Unless I come up with something better. Okay, so that's no improvement. Alright, I was looking for some improved springs. Got a lot of racing shit laying around over here. Somewhere I had some crane beehive. Tired. Not crane. It was comp cams. I'm thinking these ones down here might be them. Wasn't the upper ones there. I think it's the R07 NASCAR stuff. Might be, but these look really, really nice, but they're too long. It's probably full of valves or something. $630 pieces. Ooh, those look nice. Good for an Evo, but ain't gonna work for anything I own. Not gonna help. Problem with old motors, can't put the springs in them. It's full of valves. It's for some even stronger springs. Once again, not for this bike. That's probably valves or something up there. Can't see what's in the top box. I don't think I have any short valve springs. Everything I got is going to be tall. Yeah. Up there. That's light. That's light. Nope. Nada. Alright, I gotta make do with cream. Or whatever was in there. So that means we have limited spring tension. Not good. Don't have time to go hunting for springs, so that's problems. So I know where I could go to look a little bit though. There's some stuff down under here. Race bike junk. Duty junk. There's a triple. There we go. Perfect. Let's see what we got. Yeah, that's what I was looking for, something important. I knew he had some good parts laying in there someplace. Just got to find them. It's a problem, you got 30 years of racing crap laying everywhere. Where's it at? Alright, let's see what we got with this one. It sucks. Oh yeah, that's terrible. $3.95. So even though it looks impressive, it's junk. Got no balls behind it. It ain't gonna work. Worse than that, triple springs, the inner spring likes to break because it's real small and frail. A whole nother problem. Alright. That means we're done looking. We're going to use what we got. I don't think there's any advantage in these other springs. We know they're no good. So why bother? Okay. All we can do is pack them in all the way and hope for the best. That's pretty much what I was going to do anyway. Yeah. Working too hard, getting hot. Oh, yes, tomorrow again. 12:02. It's midnight, time to get some real work done. Okay, the next problem is we need room to put the valves in here. So we need to figure out what the coil bind is for the spring. I'll take another one just to make sure. I'm going to take this new one just to make sure. Give us an average number of coil bind. That is important. Alright, road trip. Here's somebody's playing with sandpaper over here. Wonder who that could have been. Clean off my workbench right there. down there. Just get a little bit in here. Okay. I'll put this around with block and everything. Perfect. We go ahead and coil bind all the way down. That's why they call it coil bind. Take out your calipers and measure what it is. 840. I know I can get better now. Select the spring fitting. Get 35. See what this one gets me. $825. So we might do a spring swap just to get better coil bind. Same dimension, same spring tension, shorter spring, more room. I have a high lift motor, we need room. You may get a headache yet? Camera dropped. Back up. Alright, so we know we can gain a little bit. I'm going to do a mock up here. Get a spring out of here. Front head looks like a good one. See, I marked these. That's the front. Yeah. I think that's the front. This is going off the edge of the collar, getting underneath and stopping the coil bind. Flip it over to the other direction. Can't do a mock-up if the parts don't work. Okay, I got full lift now. All the way to there, see? Okay. That's all. Okay, same thing. Full lift. Okay, so that's on there now. Let's see, what do we got? I forgot our coil bind numbers. Here's our cam sheet. It's going to tell me that the TD lift numbers are 273 and 233. It's a lot. And then the overall lift is 575 on a shovel, 606 on a panhead. So I got clear 575 lift. So we got 575 lift. So you pick 575. We added to our coil bind, which was 825 was our best one. 0.825. We need a little extra clearance in there. You need at least 50, so 0.03. We'll give it 30. We'll cut it close. Okay, so that means we need an installed height to 1.430 bare minimum. Preferably a little bit extra, but at least 430. That's assuming everything is perfect. Okay, our installed height right now 1.415 on the intake, 375 on exhaust. So the intake's almost, the exhaust, forget it. Need another 50. So how do we get another 50 thou more coil bind clearance? You can use a recessed collar where it goes up, like these S&S ones do right here. They're dished real deep. That'll do it. You can cut the valve guide lower. See how the lower collar is way up in the air? You can cut that down and go deeper. Gain it that way by cutting the guide off. You can eliminate the lower collar completely, or you can get a different spring. You get all kinds of things you can do. Or you can get a longer valve, but that's not available. So in the real world is, we can change the dish collar. Spring we're stuck with. I can cut a little bit deeper on the head, but not much. I want to keep the lower collar. So the lower collar give you 100 thou more than you need, so you don't need to do that. Don't need to get that extreme. You only need that if you're running like 650 lift and stuff like that. The other problem is your TD clearance over here. We had almost 300 thou lift, which is about that much on the intake. And of course the exhaust was open up a little over 200. And the thing is, they hit each other. So we have to figure out what that clearance is too. So I don't know what we got for that clearance yet. So the way you figure that out is you overhear the other head, which you assume is about the same. That has a high spot on there somewhere. Files don't like to cut valves. All right. Something keeping the valve from going in. See, it's tight. Right there is fine though. See a little gall mark right there in the valve? It was trying to stick. Wonderful. So it started to stick, but it didn't go all the way. But it chewed up the guide, I'm sure, a little bit. That must be the spot where it's at. These valve guides are too tight. Alright. What you do is you measure your lift. Go back to your cam card. They give you the valve lift. Where's the valve lift at? Here we go, 192 and 164. That's cam lift. You multiply the cam lift by your rocker arm, which is 1.425. That gives you total lift. So that's 1274 and 1234. So I'm going to call it 75 and 35 because I can remember those numbers. So now you go over here and you give it that number. So that'll be there, 1, 2. About that much. The intake was 275. Be about there. So see what your valve is right there. You got about 15, 20 thou. That's pushing it. That means you're asking for it to hit. It'll probably reward you by hitting. Okay, so that's close. Now we know the exhaust is sitting up too high, so that'll go away. So that'll probably give us our clearance we need just by doing that. Okay, so we know we got this one here. We got a motor over here. We got a cylinder. Piston. There's a front one right here. Snap ring in here. So we do a mock up. Don't see any front or back here. Don't think it really matters at this point. One snap ring out. First pin will come out. Take the other snap ring out. Come on. Ah. Get the wrist pin out. Check the front cylinder. This is our front cylinder here. Go ahead and put this onto the motor. And the rings up. Get to it better. There, how's that? Make it where you can see. Okay, I gotta deal with the rings here. In the wrong spot. There you go. Okay, rings are here. One's over there. So you have to collapse the ring to put it together. Ah. Push on. Okay, I'm not sure where the O-ring gap is at. Obviously not where I can see it. Where's the damn ring gap at? Don't see it anywhere. Okay, one gap is right there. There we go. These rings are stiff too. Okay. A couple of nuts here to hold it down. Not running no gasket. It gains compression, so I like that part. And the way you get those rings in there, you got to kind of nurse them in. You have to take the part with the gap in it, put the cylinder right on that edge, collapse the ring, shove it in, collapse the ring, and shove the cylinder on around it, kind of shoehorn it on like putting a boot on. So you have to know where the ring gap is at so you can find that area. If you don't know where the ring gap area is, you got a problem. You're trying to compress the ring in two spots. And one side will be in, one won't. You'll break a ring off or twist it or do damage. So you have to know how much pressure you can put on it without damaging the ring. Okay. Damn, that thing is stiff. It's like 100 horsepower turn that thing. Okay, that's up all the way. I got a head that goes on there. First you get the rockers on there. So you need a front rocker box. Front one has the oil line to the back, and you're on the push rod side. We're going to run a gasket on this side. That's why you keep junk gaskets over in the corner. That's your mock-up gasket area. There's a mock-up gasket. See? That's why you keep them there. You can also use it in a pinch too. Alright. You flip your head over and put it down like that. This way the rocker arms stay down, don't get wadded up. There you go. You'll need a couple of these, hardwares in here, nuts. Not too many. Two on each side should be plenty adequate. Okay, there's one down. Okay, I need the front push rod. Front one's a long one. Front exhaust. One of the two short ones is the intake. Goes right there. This is exhaust. This is the intake. Right now we have tension on stuff. I'm going to put 3 head bolts in. These are 3 we can get to. 1 on this side, 2 on the other. Quarter drive cut down ratchet with a 9/16 socket. Works good. As long as you get in there real quick and easy and put it on down. Now this is going to be check and valve the piston head. You're not watching me. Valve to valve, coil bind, all kinds of stuff you're checking. Okay, we got 1 bolt way over there, so we need another bolt over here. Another one right here. Gives you 3 bolts on the side of a circle. So you got 2 here, 1 over here, so it pulls the head down evenly. It's important to pull it down evenly. This isn't a panhead, it's a shovelhead, in case you can know. To do all this with a panhead is going to take me 4 or 5 hours more time, at least, and I just don't have that time. I've already wasted an hour just cleaning all the gas and crap off this stuff. Which is basically a wasted hour, but I picked that up down the road on a lot of other stuff that I don't have to do, so there you go. Okay, head looks like it's halfway even. It's up in the air a little bit. On this side, looks like it's more than on this other side. And evened it up. I'm going to use a real thin copper head gasket. It's only, these are only like about 20 thou thick, I think, something like that. Instead of using the big thick ass paper ones that are like 60. So that's just like same as milling the head 40 thousandths basically by using these. But I'm not cutting the head. Yeah, this is 21 before you compress it. I don't have to cut the top of the cylinder to get the clearance because I'm not sure if I got 20 between the head and the cylinder right now, and I bottomed out on the spigot that's sticking up. So I'll probably have to trim the top of the cylinder off. Take 20 off the top. Something. I'll measure with a feeler gauge, see what I got in there. Alright. Now I need to. This valve has got clearance, and this one here is open. It's got tension on it, so I got to loosen it up. The motor needs to be at top dead center, which is about where I had it. Well, I know where top dead center, I can see the rod right there. Don't have to be a genius to see where top dead center is at. Still tight. Oh, you son of a bitch. The whole insert's spinning inside the lifter. Get a little thin ass wrench way down in there to hold it. I'm going to loosen this one. By holding the other one. And we got to tighten this one up here to loosen this. Damn it. Okay, we got clearance now. Now you back it up until it touches. It's touched. Right there, 0. Right, 0. Yeah, that was a little bit past. Okay, so everything's at 0, 0 all the way around. Now when I turn the motor over, we'll see if the valves hit, what happens, what clearances we got, all of that good stuff. You have to listen for noises because you can bend valves pretty easy. We got the piston rings in here fighting us a little bit too, so that makes it kind of a little bit harder to figure out. There's our overlaps we're going to hit. Okay, we're not hitting on anything. So we're clearancing just like we measured. We know we're clearing right now. And that's with no base gasket, no head gasket. But there's about 15 or 20 thou gap there, so it's like having a head gasket. You know, nothing else done. Now we want to know is how much clearance you got, valve to piston. You have that much right now. See how both the valves are moving right now? We have nothing to each other. We're hitting right now. I can't use either. No valve moves. So our valves are touching right now. Even though the motor turns over, they're hitting. See how they don't hit? Okay, this is our valve to piston clearance. That's plenty. That's good. That's not enough right there, wherever we're at. I think that's valve to valve we just nailed. Still valve to valve. Went past the valve. Got piston clearance. Piston clearance. And piston clearance. So we have minimum clearance. We only got about 40 thou clearance valve to piston right now. Got a lot more right there. So we don't have a lot of clearance. So that's pretty much minimum clearance. But the valve is a problem right now. We're hitting. So the valve's a piston with clearance when I fix the other problem. I'll wind up I can take a little more something out of somewhere. I cut another 20 thou here, somewhere else to gain more compression. I can shorten the cylinder up a little bit, I can shorten the head up a little bit. Obviously I can't take any gaskets out, I already did that. So there's room to tighten it up to more to get more compression. Like I said, I don't have a higher compression piston, I got a stock compression, 8.5 the piston. Was trying to get more compression. Right now I probably gained at least a full point by not running the base gasket. Base gaskets are anywhere from 20 to 35 thou thick, so when you drop the cylinder by 30 thousandths, that's a huge difference. That's not the same as milling the head 30, it's a lot more. So that makes a huge difference. When we take away the head gasket completely off the whole bore, it's the same as shortening the cylinder. So that makes a big difference also. So just a matter what diameter you're taking out. If you're taking out the full diameter of the cylinder, you get a lot more bang for your buck than if you're only taking out a chamberless like this. So that's your differences. So I'm taking out a lot of area. So that's going to give me, probably a couple points in compression, hopefully, by using it like this. But I'm going to lose a little bit on the valves, because I'm going to have to sink the valve a little bit or do something. I need more clearances. But I don't want to sink them too much deeper, but I got to gain some. Alright, so that's all stuff we care about for racing. We want to try to maximize everything, and you minimize all your clearances to get maximum compressions. Even though I got a crappy piston, I can still gain it back in other ways. So if we're lucky, we might be able to get about 10 to 1 out of this motor, 10.5. By the time I get my valve with clearance, I don't think I'll have that much, but we'll see. Okay, so now we take it back apart and see what we got. See right there, the motor locked up. Now we're going around. Of course, the rings are fighting me the whole time. So, okay, back up at top center. Now this valve is loose now, and it was tight. So we made slight changes by rubbing the valves against each other. Might have tweaked one of them. Doesn't take much to bend a valve. Okay, so now we take it all back apart and we'll see what we did in there. Then we kind of figure out what we're going to do. So all of this stuff matters. Oh, I want to measure the head gasket thickness here. Let's see how much I got right now. Back up. I'm running out of time to do stuff, so it's past 12:30 now. Okay, here's 14 thou. That went in there no problem. Where's 20? Here's 21. That's the thickness of my head gasket. It's trying to go in there, so basically we've got 21 thou. So that means my head gasket will have almost no tension on it to blow. Over on this side, we're thinner. There we go. So we're on 17, 16. Our 16 is going in halfway. Alright, so basically we have no clearance. So I need at least 5 thousandths more clearance to be safe. Now you don't want to take away too much of that clearance, because by cutting the spigot down, you're losing that much compression, whatever that is. You're losing that much more compression. But I need a little bit, so I got to cut 5 there. You know, these heads are warped, or something's blowing a little bit on the one side. It's starting to blow, so I don't know if the heads are warped or what. But at this point, I don't really have a lot of time to do anything. But I'm going to have to cut the head or something to get more clearance. This one here is too close to risk running. It'll blow a head gasket. If I put a base gasket on there and move it up, we'll have the clearance. It's just, what am I going to do? I don't really want to run a head gasket, so we'll see. So anyway, that's all stuff to figure out. This is all crap I think about all night long in my head. I'm always thinking about crap like this. Where can I gain here? Where can I at least save there? It's all just a game of numbers. When you're thinking about what the greatest music was you just listened to last week, I'm thinking about my motors. One of us might be good. Don't know which one. Alright, we'll be back a little bit. Strip this down.